Hello everyone. I think this is my first ever stream. Let's see. Oh yes, I can see it. Hello everyone. Nice to meet you all. Let's see. Oh yes, I can see it. Yeah, I can hear myself now. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So today we're going to be speaking about the Iran nuclear deal. Personally, I am not a fan of the deal. I don't think Iran and America should make a deal. And the reason for that is that the Ayatollahs in Iran are masters of stalling negotiations and basically misleading America. So because they've done this before during the Obama administration and the negotiations went on for years, and eventually the Ayatollahs in Iran, they didn't comply because the deal was that the Iranians can't enrich uranium, and they did that. However, the money they took, they went and strengthened the Islamic Brotherhood, such as Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis, and also making progress in Iraq and Syria. And that's why I do not trust to make a deal with the Islamic Republic. I don't think Donald Trump is looking for a war with Iran, and hence why he's going through the deal making route. However, my warning to President Trump is that you cannot trust this regime. You simply cannot trust this regime. And the reason for that is that for 46 years now, they've been misleading America and they've been causing instability in the Middle East. If you look at 1979, before 1979, the Middle East was doing great. All the countries were liberal and progressive, and after 79, with the coming of Khomeini, the whole Middle East went downhill. And it had basically a domino effect. So I just do not think you can expect behavior change from this regime. So I would advise against making a deal, and so would Netanyahu and Israel. However, I do not want a full-scale war with Iran either, because a full-scale war would only basically lead to more instability in the region. And the reason for that is that we don't want one Iranian person dying in this war. So we don't want a deal, but we also don't want a full-scale war. So what do we actually want? We want full support of the Iranian people, but also strategic military targeting of bases in Iran. Not necessarily the nuclear sites, but strategic targeting of the military sites and the heads of state. The same thing Israel done to Hezbollah and Hamas, strategically targeting the heads of Hamas and Hezbollah and killing people like Hassan Nasrallah and Ismail Haniyeh and people of that nature. We want the same thing with the heads of IRGC. So that goes for Khamenei and other people that are the heads of IRGC, but also the strategic targeting of military bases. However, the problem I have with this whole negotiations is that Russia now has basically used Iran as a card in his hand to get a better deal regarding Ukraine, because he's saying that America shouldn't go to war with Iran if they want peace in Ukraine. So Russia is using Iran as a card in his hand and basically has said that, oh, if USA attacks Iran, then we will attack Ukraine and by extension attack USA. So the problem I have here is that things have got very complicated. They are connecting everything together. So they are saying that in order for Russia and Ukraine to make a deal on Ukraine, Israel has to make a deal with Palestine and give them a state, but also USA can't touch Iran. And that is a problem. And I would say to that why isn't the Americans getting the Russians on side? Why can't we make friends with Russia? Because Russia and Putin said that during the Tucker Carlson interview that in the 1990s he was trying to join NATO, and he told President Clinton he wants to join NATO, but he was alienated by the deep state, which is CIA and FBI. So we missed the strategic opportunity to get Russia and Putin on side. As I have said before many times, you cannot win a war against Russia. And the reason for that is that they have nuclear bombs, right? But if you get them on side, then we could have worked with them. We can only see what's going to happen. So I've written a few things down. that I want to read to you. And that is, here's what I don't like about the what I don't like about how the negotiations are going. Putin is using Iran as a token to further his own ambitions. I do not like Putin because he said that he's using Iran for strategic purposes. In the Tucker Carlson interview, he even said that in the US pushed him out in the hands of the Islamic Republic by not allowing him to join NATO. They are now connecting the peace talks from Russia and Ukraine to Iran nuclear deal and also Gaza. Trump is trying to make a deal in which Iran modernizes. This is not just about the nuclear deal. Trump recognizes the potential of Iran's immense wealth. So that's another thing I wanted to say. This whole negotiations is not about Iran nuclear deal. I think what Trump is trying to do is to strike a deal with the Islamic Republic in order to modernize Iran and bring their immense wealth into the market. But something I don't think is going to happen. You know, Khamenei and the SEPA or the IRGC, they have control over the country's oil and wealth. And they do not want it to bring it into the international markets. And I'll tell you why later. Trump is trying to open Iran market into the world, and the deal requested not just to ending up, as I said, the nuclear program. So I just basically what I just said. Trump is expecting behavior change from the IRGC, which is a mistake. You cannot expect behavior change from this regime. Trump is trying to stop Iran's nuclear program whilst modernizing Iran. Iran has huge wealth of oil and gas and natural metals. So we are second in oil and second in gas. Excuse me. Trump understands Iran's potential and is trying to unleash it. However, here's where Trump is mistaken. Trump is expecting behavior change from the Islamic Republic. That will not happen. As I have said before, I do not want a full-scale war with Iran, but neither do I want a deal. This is a stalling and a delay tactic by the Iran to stay in power. They will change their tune as soon as Trump leaves office. And finally, Putin is also playing his own game, trying to score points. If I was Trump, I would try to get Putin on side. Convince him that the collapse of the Islamic Republic is in the interest of his self-interest. Saudi Arabia also is not a fan of the Islamic Republic. Okay, so just to recap, as I have said before, I do not want a full-scale war. Okay, so let me repeat. As I have said before, I do not want a full-scale war with Iran, but neither do I want a deal. I want a strategic targeting of military bases and the heads of the state. But the problem we have now is that Putin is trying to score points against USA and his negotiations on Ukraine, saying, well, if you attack Iran, we will back Iran, which is extremely unfortunate because Putin did say in the 1990s that he wanted to join NATO, but the deep state in America and CIA said no to him. However, a beacon of hope is that during the Tucker Carlson interview, Putin said that he is using Iran as a strategic point scoring tactic, as a card in his hand. He doesn't care about the Islamic Republic. As a matter of fact, he said that in the 1990s he was willing to make the Islamic Republic the enemy as long as they allow Russia into NATO, but he didn't. So we have three different factors here. This is not just about Iran nuclear deal. It also connects to Israel and Gaza, but also connects to Russia and Putin, right? Russia and Putin are saying, in order for us to agree to a ceasefire on Ukraine, you have to give us some points regarding Palestine and Iran, which is unfortunate. I think what Trump should do is to bring Russia on side, give them access to world economy. In turn, he should say to them, let's make Islamic Republic the enemy. That's what I think should happen. Only 2 rounds of talks have gone through. But as I have said, I do not trust the Islamic Republic. I do not trust in a deal with the Islamic Republic. I do not expect any behavior change under this regime. So I think Donald Trump is mistaken to expect behavior change. It's already happened under Obama. We cannot have a deal with the Islamic Republic, but we also do not want a full-scale war with the Islamic Republic. What we want is strategic targeting of the heads of state, as well as strategic targeting of the military bases, and the rest people will take care of. However, it's got a lot more complicated with Russia and China and Israel all being involved and all trying to score points against each other. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. This was my first live stream. I'm going to have a live stream every single day. So make sure you like and subscribe and support the channel. Let's get it. Elevate by Eunice Rocks.